Well, I'm still at it. I've cleaned up one of them. I'm going to clean up the other one. I've changed my mind. I'm going to put the washers on top and do it that way. You get more support that way. I'm going to buy some stainless steel. Stainless steel works with aluminum. If you read about it, they're pretty compatible. I'll probably put some 5200 underneath the washer when I put the bolt through, or how I'm thinking about building up underneath like a maybe 2 layers of plywood, fiberglass them, attach them to the deck, and then attach these through, maybe even through the bottoms of those, and then screw through the plywood or the little platform I make, screw it into the deck, or epoxy it down to the deck, and then screw these into that. Because 5/8 is not thick enough. I don't have much space underneath the hull. So that's my plan. I'm going to clean this one up. I'm debating on painting them. The paint I have is not for aluminum. It's I have some. This is what I went with to paint the boat. This is what somebody painted the boat with. Let me get some stuff here out so you guys can see what I got. Can't read that one anymore, but somebody painted the boat before me with the Pedestal. I've done some touch up with the Pedestal. I'm not a fan of it. It scratches really easy. It does touch up easy, but it scratches off too easy. Now, since I'm doing this on a budget, I did some research and I found this Rust-Oleum topside paint. I did paint the bottom portion of the boat with it. You know, the sides. I haven't used the red, but I did use the oyster white, which came out pretty well. I did try primer on one side, and I did the roll and tip, but it didn't really roll and tip very well. I sanded it down and I painted over it with the oyster white, which came out pretty nice. Once it dried, it wasn't as bad. On the other side, I avoided priming it and just went right over top of that blue easy epoxy, and that's a polyester. And the topside paint doesn't really tell you what kind of paint it is, but it does go over fairly well, actually easier over top of that. I sanded it down on the one side, primed it, waited for the primer to dry, and then when I put the paint on, or put the primer on, I could see color bleeding through. So I didn't like that. So I figured I'd try without the primer, with just a light sanding, and rolling it, not tipping it, and that went on smoother. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. But that's a whole other project. I'm going to get back to the seats. Seat posts, can't paint them with that paint. I have some spray paint. I might spray paint the base. They do look kind of nice, cleaned up, but we'll see when we get there. Thanks.